Well, you better start liking it.
Okay, I'll start holding my breath 2 minutes. Okay, so very unique, one of a kind. Never had one of these before. But as soon as you know it, it makes sense. It slides down the pole. So the pole is with the guides. It falls. It falls out. The inside stairs. The inside of the 2 poles slides out. It's here. And then it starts rolling of its own weight. It starts rolling. But there's a slight incline. What's the biggest problem with an incline?
It's not going to, it has to overcome the incline.
So, now look at that. Let's look up there. What is that doing up there? If that's the release, what's that doing up there?
That's the crank. That's to pull it back up.
So when you pull it back up, what are you supposed to do? Remove it. Remove the hook that brings it back up. Otherwise, what's holding it when you release it? The wind. The wind. Either the wind brings it back up, then you have to lock it in. Yeah, then you have to freewheel, which means you can't have that arm on there. The arm has to, you have to crank it, and then the arm on a chain has to come off to the side. Okay, so that's fine. Now, knowing that this thing needs to be balanced, how does this fall? See how on the top of the stringers there's these 2 donuts, and it sort of slides down that pole?
Right, and then it's the stops.
Right. So that, yeah, that one we hit over here somewhere.
Right.
So where's the stop? Those stops in the wrong place? So that's another thing you have to go double check to see where does it stop. Because if that's the thing at the top and it comes down and it stops up there, you're going to be out of whack because it's supposed to stop down here. Okay? And it has some other mechanisms there that hold onto the hook. See the other hook underneath the basket? Okay, so notice that. And then the rule is use it or lose it. If you're not going to use it, then get rid of it. Get it off. Get the weight out of there. I think we'll collapse the roof. A weaken the roof, I think we'll come right through.
I'm glad you spotted that because that was one that Stu wanted you to see.
Okay, you're on.
Okay, so this is the structural review. The first thing you're going to do under the structural review is I want to check to see if it was fabricated according to standards back then on the review of a structural engineer or some sort of standard. Secondly, I'm going to check to see if it was installed correctly, and that's what I'm going to look for in this, see if it's attached correctly as per the standards of all the fire escapes that I've seen. And the third thing I'm going to see is whether it's been maintained and free and devoid of all rust on any internal connection. So that's what I'm going to be doing. So on the general review, no obstructions, and it's been kept painted, and that's pretty much a general review. But on the structural review, I'm going to look for things, I'm going to answer the top 3 questions. Was it built to standard like any other fire escape? Well, the first thing I see is that this is wrong. And when I bring this down, you're going to see that there's something wrong with how I get in and out of this fire escape. The number 2 thing that I see here, I don't see, it looks like it was properly attached. So it looks like this cantilever has to face the other way. It cannot face this way because it's wrong. There's just no mathematically it's very bad. So I'm going to start looking at it right now, and hopefully the cameraman is going to follow me because every now and then he misses. But when I pull this down, you're going to clearly see that this fire escape, which is supposed to come down by itself, it's supposed to be single action, releases, with the single activation, it releases and it stays down. So if I look at it, the fact that it goes back up is not correct. So it fails the load, the balance test. Second, it's supposed to have clearance as I walk down. So right now I start running into a problem right here, and I'm not supposed to do this. This is illegal for me to do this. Climb up and under. Okay, so I can't do that. But now let's take a look at what I'm supposed to do here. It looks like these are replacement gratings. These are grip struts. So if somebody's replaced this, I'm going to take a peek here and verify the connections. The first thing that I have a problem with on these is that these are all undersized. The minimum that you're required to have on this, the holes are there for 3/8, and somebody used 1/8.